Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm going to be using a pretty decent handful of new to me products, and then I'm also going to be using some products that are on the chopping block. So if you want to come hang out, grab yourself a drink, let's get ready together, or I'll be your background noise while you clean. However it is that you listen or watch to YouTube videos, let's do that together. Yeah, I don't think that there was anything else I wanted to say, so let's jump on in. Okay, so to start things off, I'm gonna go in with the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. I have been enjoying this. It does a really great job. It's been a little bit easier to get out now that I've used it some. Like a big air bubble gave out, and then since then, I haven't had as much issue getting it out of the component, because before I was like having to squeeze it pretty hard. But I have been loving this. My eyeshadow continues to be long lasting with it. Doesn't crease, all the things, and it's super affordable. I used to prefer the Urban Decay Potion Primer. My friend Faith, who also enjoys that product, had DM'd me and was like, she was like, if you want a dupe for that, it's the Ulta one. She said it is, you know, as good as the Urban Decay one, if not better. And she highly recommends it. So I needed a new one. I picked that one up and I have been loving it. Oh, I'm also gonna just put a little bit of lip oil on my lips. I'm using the Milani Fruit Fetish. I love those products. And then we're gonna go in with the Natasha Denona Sunset Palette. And I'm gonna start with this shade here just to set everything down. My brushes need washed so badly, so just ignore that as I'm like scrambling for brushes throughout this video. It's on my to-do list today, so I didn't want to do it before I filmed this. I was like, I'm gonna just, you know, wait until I'm done with makeup for the day, and then I will wash those up. Also, I know my skin is like looking pretty red and irritated right now. It's because it is on a journey right now that is not fun. So just ignore that. I'm doing things to rectify it. But I was like, man, it probably looks like, what the hell is going on over there? But yeah, my skin is like sensitive, and I don't know. I think when I got dermaplane last time, I think they may have broken my skin barrier. And so my skin has been even more sensitive than normal. So yeah, I am just, yeah, being really gentle with it, essentially. Next up, I think I want to do maybe this shade really lightly all over. I kind of want to stay like in the chocolatier vibe. So yeah, I'm thinking this shade here. Gonna just go in lightly and build that up because I don't really want to get into the orange territory, which I don't know. I used to enjoy like orange color stories when I was blonde, but I haven't been blonde for a couple years. And I find that I don't really prefer the orange color stories on myself when I'm brunette. I just don't like the way that it looks. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working through right now. I don't have, oh, sorry, there was like something in my eyeball. But yeah, that's like kind of also part of the reason it's on the chopping block. I never really organically reached for this palette, and I haven't since I got it in 2022. Like, since then, I've probably quite literally used it less than 10 times, I would guess. So I'm really trying to decide if it's one that I need to hang on to or if I could just let it go. Because obviously, like, there are a lot of brown tones in here and stuff, which I love. But I have a lot of palettes that offer brown tones. And then there's also a lot of orange tones, which I don't love. Because even this one has more of like a burnt orange situation going on once we get it blended out and whatnot. So I'm really just on the fence. Like, I normally was keeping it because it hosted the yellow and the red shade, which are very, you know, unique to my collection. However, I shouldn't be keeping it just for that because I've still only used the yellow shade like 2 times ever. So it's like, I would probably survive without it, you know? I'm gonna go into this shade next and just pop that on the outer corner. So this has been on the chopping block. I'm kind of like, is it hurting anything in my collection? Like by keeping it? Not really, but it's dying here. It's not being used. So I'm like, you know, one of those things. And I hate when my collection is so big that I feel like I can't get to everything, or I start to feel obligated to use products because I haven't used them and I've just been like loving on what I'm genuinely enjoying. And like, this is one of those that I always feel like, oh man, I really should use that. But like, I don't really want to. And it's not even that there's anything wrong with it or that it's fault or anything. I don't know. I don't drive with it really. So yeah, it's on the chopping block just to decide what I want to do. I'm pretty sure I already know, if you can't tell. I'm leaning toward decluttering it. But I also wanted to test it out because it is one of the older palettes in my collection. I believe I got this in like, I think it was like the end of 2022. So it's older, it's over 2 years old. So I just wanted to make sure that the formulation was still okay before I like offered to give it away to somebody as well, because I don't want to give someone an expired like shitty palette. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. So far, everything seems to be blending and performing absolutely beautifully. So that is great to discover. All right, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of the NYX glitter glue. I am struggling to find brushes over here, so we're just gonna be making do. And I wanted to use a more fluffy brush for the shimmer because I've been doing that lately and I've really been loving the finish that it gives. However, I cannot find a small, clean, fluffy brush. So we are gonna just use like a traditional paddle brush for this application. And I'm thinking, I was thinking this shade initially, but now I kind of like this shade because it looks kind of gold, but also it looks like it has some brown. I think this shade. And actually, let's just do a little of the other one to see. Okay, no, I want to do that one. I'm just kidding. So yeah, going in with this shade. I was like, I actually just like that one more. And on the other side, I'll do the same. I'll put a little bit of that gold shade over there just to even things out a bit. But yeah, see, I think it looks really nice. And like, that is what I said, when was that? It was during one of my collection, I think it was during my collection video, or maybe it was something over on Instagram. I'm really not even sure. But I was like, you know, I don't know why I never reach for this, because every time I do, I literally love the look that I create. I just never reach for it. There's just something about it that, like, I guess doesn't call to me organically. And, you know, no fault of its own. Like, I think this look is freaking beautiful. I don't gravitate toward it. So I'm like, why should I keep it when someone else could use it? I don't know. I just like try to be mindful of that, because I feel like it's less wasteful if I'm able to get it to a new home where someone's gonna use it than to like not use it in my collection. So I don't know, just some like random thoughts for you. I'm going to clean up this under eye just like super quickly, because there was like not really any fallout or anything, as you saw. So the formula still performing fabulously, as you might have guessed. For my base, I'm gonna start out with a sunscreen. Where did I put that? I'm gonna use the got it. Heck yeah. I'm gonna use the It Cosmetics Hello Sunshine Invisible Hydrating Serum Sunscreen SPF 50. I am going to be mowing later today because it's finally not raining. So I'm gonna try and get out there and get it freaking done. It's been insane how much rain that we have gotten, you guys. Like, I simply cannot keep up. Like, it is terrible. I'm also just ready for the gloom to be over and to enjoy the nice weather. God, I love this sunscreen. It literally feels so good. And it sinks in so nicely. It's like the perfect primer. It's glowy, not greasy. Oh. And if you know me, you know I've never really felt passionate about a sunscreen like this. The only other one is the Dermatology Universal Tinted Moisturizing Sunscreen, which I don't really count that in the same one as this, since it's a tinted one. I would wear it alone really before I would pair it with foundation, whereas this one is marketed to be used as like a primer. So I love that, because I'm like, okay, if it's good, like I'll use it all the time. And it is good, and I do use it all the time. And I'm like, okay, so I guess like this is just what I needed to actually use a sunscreen, one that was good. So yeah, love that. I'm gonna give it just a second to set in, and then we'll jump right back in. All right, that low-key took forever because the mailman came way later in the day than he usually does. So everyone was riled up, of course. Just using my Huda Beauty Faux Filter Corrector in the shade Peach. You guys, I just took like all my brushes in by the sink. My brushes, my sponge, my beauty puffs, all my things, my freaking color switches. Took them all into the sink except for like what I'm gonna be using right now. And I'm telling you, there is just so many. It sucks. I'm not looking forward to it. I wanted to try out a new to me foundation since I'm not going anywhere. I want to use the Chanel, I don't even know how the heck you say it. Oh, the Revitalizing foundation. I have the shade B10. I got this with Ulta Points, and I want to start testing it because it's dumb expensive. So if I don't like it, I don't want to miss the return window. This shade, when I got it, looked like really, really perfect for me. So I'm excited about that because I've been mixing foundation for a while now. And man, I just get so tired of having to do that. I know some people don't mind, but I'm like, I would just rather be able to put on a foundation. That's my shade. So yeah, but one of the oldest products in my, well, oldest foundations, I guess, in my collection is that Smashbox tint, and it is too deep for me right now. So the only way I could really use it was with something lighter. So I was doing that. But yeah, I want to try this. And wow, yeah, that shade, that is a good shade match. B10 if you're somewhere close to me. And it advertises like a neutral undertone. I find that to be accurate. I just got done with the whole Dior foundation debacle where everything was allegedly neutral, but it was actually like super, super warm and yellow. But this appears to be a true neutral. So far, it's feeling very lightweight on my skin. Like I literally feel like I can't even like feel it. Like, which is nice. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The shade looks great. The finish could be part of the sunscreen, but it looks very like dewy, radiant. Feels like my skin, but way better with some coverage. I hope that it wears well, because if it does, might have a new fave in our midst. It looks really nice. I'm gonna go in with the Pacifica Dreamlit concealer, and I'm gonna just put a dot on the inner corner here. And then I'm reaching into the Natasha Denona Hy-Glam, and I'm going to use that for the rest. I want to say I'm not putting a lot because my base feels very lightweight. I feel like the coverage is very like light to medium, but I feel like some people will be like, that is not a lot of concealer. What do you mean? I feel like I usually put a lot more concealer than this on, but yeah, I think that looks nice. Perfect. But yeah, I don't know. This looks so good. I hope that it holds up, because wow, just beautiful. Like honestly, just gave in and put the dogs outside. I'm gonna use the Chanel bronzer. This one is the medium shade. I wanted them to be able to stay in here with me, but I'm like, if you're gonna bark at every fly that flies across this window, I just can't take it. You need to be outside. So they're gonna sit out there for a while, which is good for them. It's nice out, so they can get some sunshine. I love this bronzer. It's so nice, it's so pretty on the skin. What's crazy is I went to link this in one of my other videos, and this bronzer has gone up $10 since I got it. $10. And this one is my oldest one, and I've had it for like over a year, but still, like $10 price increase in a year is wild. Like, I feel like that has to be a pretty big percentage jump. Not that I'm like good at math or percentages, which is why I'm not even gonna attempt to try to figure out what it is. But I was like, oh my goodness. I don't love how this brush is applying it though, but it's fluffier than usual. It's not as dense as what I normally use, because all my dense brushes that I normally use are dirty. So we're making do. It'll be what it'll be. Like I said, if it doesn't look perfect, I'm literally just gonna be mowing today, so it'll look good enough to do that. For blush, I have a new to me one. It is the KVD Good Apple Blush and Balm Duo. This one is in the shade Secret Thicket. So pretty. And I'm gonna just take a brush, I'm gonna dab lightly into both sides and then apply it. And when I say lightly, I mean pretty lightly. I used this one other time and it is a pigmented girly. So just a light tap in there and then work with it. You can always add more. And wow, this is coming across much more pink than I anticipated because I've used this shade before and it was like more mauve-y, but I haven't used this one. I wonder, and I bet that's the one pulling really pink. Ah, well, I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of the mauve shade on top of it. But you see that how it went on initially and I was like, ooh, like, yeah, it definitely comes like out on a hurry, but like it blends out nicely. But I just kind of wanted to mention that so that you don't take like a big chunk and then you're like, oh shit. Because we've all been there and it's not a fun place to be. I feel like a warmer blush would have matched this better, but oh well. I thought that that would pull a little bit warmer than it is, but it's more, definitely like more pinky, but that's all right. We're trying something new together. I'm trying to bring the entertainment. Oh. See, I was like, what side did I use? There we go. Got these big cheekers all nice and squared away. And then I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty powder, the Cherry Blossom shade. And this is what I'm gonna use to set me under eyes. I'm gonna tap out the creasing first. And then now that it's been getting warmer outside, I have been starting to set my full face again. So I'm gonna go in with the translucent Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder with a fluffier brush. And I am gonna use that to just, well, hopefully lightly set, but I'm like, man, why is there so much powder on this brush? Just kind of lightly set the rest of the face. Okay, now that I have that all set down, I'm gonna just take whatever is on remainder on the brush and just kind of bring it back up here a little bit. Just to, you know. And then let's see, we can, ooh, actually, you know, it might be really pretty or really terrible. I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty, what are these called? The powder blush in the shade Joy. And I'm gonna just take a fluffy brush like this and see if we can just kind of dust this on a little bit to, I was gonna say bring out a more orangey color, but I don't really think that it's doing that. I think it's like continuing to emphasize that pinky shade underneath, but oh well, we did it. We gotta do it now. I tried. I thought it would be a good idea. I think it definitely gives like a more orange sheen like we're looking for up here. So that's nice. But for the most part, it just really adhered to that like color underneath. So we tried. I'm gonna go into it with this brush and I'm gonna just kind of pop it on the lower lash line a bit. I don't know. Like I said, I never use this palette, but when I do, I love it. So now I'm like, man, do I get rid of it? I don't know. And I'm like a pretty firm believer in like, don't get rid of stuff until you're ready to get rid of stuff. Otherwise, you'll end up decluttering products and regretting it. So if I still feel unsure, then I'm not gonna declutter it. That's just how I feel. Because I'm pretty good at like, when I'm ready, I know that I'm ready. And if I don't feel that way about it yet, then I don't know. That's just how it be sometimes. I just went in with the Huda Beauty Creamy Kohl liner in the shade Black to tightline and to whatever, do my waterline. I'm gonna use the NYX Professional Micro Brow Pencil. I have the shade Brunette and I don't love it on myself. I think if I got this again, I would definitely get a cooler shade, just because I think it pulls like a little bit warm for my preference. Like, I don't think it looks bad. I just think if I were to do it again, I would do it differently. You know what I mean? Okay, now I'm gonna just run some brow gel through it, and I'm using the Wing Me Clear Brow Gel. This was in an Ipsy box a while ago, and it's still the one I've been using. I have some others to try out, but I really just try to only have one brow gel open at a time because I find they expire really quickly. Like, they get all goopy and stringy and sticky and gooey. So and it's hard for me to even finish one before it gets like that. So I really only try to have one open. And then I just like pushed the brows down some. Looks, I mean, is what it is for me. It looks how it looks. I'm not a brow professional. I had a brush out that and that's the thing. I felt like I had brushes out for this stuff, but now I'm like not finding them. And I'm like, maybe because I think I've been using different ones for different things than I usually do because I'm out of brushes. I'm gonna go in with the Dior Backstage Face Palette. This one is in the shade Glitz. And I'm gonna use this peachy shade right here. And that's what I'm gonna take on, ooh, actually the inner corner and the brow bone. I was about to just do the brow bone, but then I was like, oh, maybe that'll actually look kind of pretty on the inner corner. Yep, it does. I love these. They're so pretty. They're so sparkly. They look nice on the inner corner. They look nice on the cheeks. They look great on the brow bone. Like, they're really just very versatile. I've been enjoying them a lot. There we go. I think that looks really pretty. Let's see, what else are we gonna do? I'm gonna pop off, do finishing touches, liner, mascara, probably my lip, and then we'll come back and we'll chat about it. Okay, so here is the finished look. Just for some final touches, I went in with the Tarte Sex Kitten liner for my wings. Literally, holy grail winged liner. This is so stinking good. For my lips, I used some New to Me products. The Huda Beauty lip liner in the shade Rich Brown. I just like focused that on the outer portions, and then I filled it in with the Hourglass. This is their like plumping lippy in the shade Trace, and like the shade is so warm, and I was like, I don't really wear warm shades, but I was like, if I'm gonna wear a warm shade, this is how I would do it. So I wanted to really just like put that together and see if I liked the way it looked to determine if I would hang on to it or not. And I think that this lip looks very pretty, especially with this eye look. So that was good. I set everything down with this Hold On to Your Dream probiotic setting spray. I don't know who it's from. We got an Ipsy. It's like more than halfway gone-ish, but everything is rubbed off the front. So I have like no information. And then for mascara, we're about to be on a really long mascara journey because my Bite Beauty ones have expired. Yeah. So today I paired the Smashbox Super Fan Mascara and the Tarte Big Ego, and I don't know, I feel like you can actually tell that I have eyelashes today. All the other ones I've been using, you can't see anything. It's like I have no eyelashes. So I paired these two, and this Super Fan Mascara really seemed to help give me some of that clump that I like. So I might need to pair this with the other ones that I have open to help make them work. I don't know. It just sucks. I don't think that anything is really going to be comparable that I've tried so far, which stinks. Means I'm probably gonna have to get a lash serum because nothing is giving me all the things that Bite Beauty mascara was giving me, which was like, you know, volume, length, and hold. Nothing else has been able to do that. But yeah, I hope overall that you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. If you like Get Ready With Me, I'll link my playlist down below. Be sure to subscribe before you leave. Half my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. So be sure to smash that button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.